In today's video, I'm gonna share with you guys how I use volume profile to find these massive targets. On stream, the first trade that I took was right here, and I targeted all the way down here for roughly 155 points. Trade number two, I entered right here and exited the trade right down there for another 100 points. So how was I able to identify these levels using volume profile? Now, before we get started, I want to let you guys know My Funded Futures right now 30% off all expert plans. And if you've never had an account with My Funded Futures in the past, you can get 50% off any evaluation account. So to take advantage of this offer, use the links in the description box down below. Use promo code Mike at checkout. So now we come over and look at the volume profile chart. Now, if you're unfamiliar with volume profile, there's a couple key levels we want to be well aware of. The first one is going to be the point of control. That's the price level that has the most amount of contracts traded at it. Value area high, that's going to be the upper edge of the 68 or 70% of the highest volume area of the profile. And then we have right down here value area low. Well, something that a lot of traders overlook quite often is going to be what's referred to as a minus development area or low volume nodes. If you've ever seen market profile, it would be called single prints. We see the very thin structure right here on the profile. This is basically an inefficiency in the market. If you guys know anything about the stock market, it loves to come back and repair inefficiencies in the market. For instance, one of the areas I talked about in the 5 o'clock video on the main channel was watch out for this minus development area right here. If I drop a horizontal line across it right now, look at where the NASDAQ is currently at. It's not that far away from that price point. You might say, well, Mike, how did you know how the profile was developed? Because this profile is going to continue to change throughout the duration of the day. You are absolutely correct. So what I'm going to do in this example is I'm actually going to go ahead and remove the entire volume profile, and I'm going to draw out a new volume profile from scratch. If you remember, the first trade that I placed was in between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. So what I'm going to do is come right over here, and I'm going to go to order flow volume profile on NinjaTrader. I'm going to go ahead and grab it from the first candle right over to here. Now, when we look at this profile, we can still see this whole entire minus development area on the profile. So what I want to do in this instance is I'm going to shade this area out. And we talk about this all the time on the live stream. Look right where we came into today. One thing you'll notice about trade number one is that yes, it made 155 points. However, I did not trade it the best. You can see right here, we had that wick down and it started coming back up. And to be honest with you, I got a little bit scared that maybe we're going to retrace, come back and retest some of these structure breakdown points, which we were talking about on the live stream. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get out. Then as we came up right here, we started to come back down. I went ahead and re-engaged for that same target, but notice where this target is right here, 20,711. If we look at where this minus development area comes into play, it starts right there at 20,728, and it really goes all the way down to 20,593. Something else I talked about today on the live stream was, and I repeat this time and time again, but a majority of the time when we have a huge minus development area, the market doesn't just simply slice right through it. Instead, it will come into it. Then at that point, it'll either turn into some type of consolidation, or the first time we get a rejection back out. Now, the second, third, or even fourth time back into that area, that's when I expected the market to come all the way back down and auction this whole area out. And then what we'll see is over time, on the next day or so, you'll see the next day's profile. So as today's profile starts to develop, you'll probably see as we spend some more time down here, we'll build a lot of volume up and around this area. So if you were to take the profile, you can just shift it to the left. Now, so I scrolled the profile back a little bit just to kind of illustrate this a little bit more. We can clearly see this area was kind of a minus development area. Look how deep the valleys are. Notice the profile does not protrude out nearly as far as it does over here or over here. It's kind of like a little valley right in this area. Then if we look at the following day, look how much volume was built out all along this area of the profile. If we could take this profile and slide it to the left, you can see that we basically built out this entire profile. So that's kind of what I think is going to be in store on the following day. However, we do have CPI coming out on Tuesday, so we're going to see, how that actually changed the markets. But until this whole area is auctioned, as I start to get sell side trades, I am once again going to want to try to retarget this area. So as you're looking for trades out there in the market and you're wondering where might the market try to travel towards, always pay attention to the minus development areas. Now, if it's the first time into it, we can then look for rejection points and look to trade the market up and out of that area. One of the ways we could have done this in this example is right here on the 30-minute chart. Notice what we get. We get an inside bar after we've already come into the minus development area. We could keep it plain and simple and say, all right, as soon as we break the high of that candle, go long and then go ahead and run it on the way up, putting our stop loss right below the candle that got into the minus development area. Now, if you guys like to learn the difference between the starter and starter plus plan with my funded features, make sure to check out this video right here.